For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd. Call them again, 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save, 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste.
This pandemic has hit us hard, but Tennesseans don't stay down for long. We're known for our resilience, and we refuse to back down from a challenge. This challenge is no different. You might be out of work, but there's an opportunity waiting for you. We need you to roll up your sleeves and join our workforce. Right now, thousands of jobs are ready to be filled. Find them at jobsfortn.gov. Let's get to work, Tennessee.
I watch y'all coming here for years because you shot somebody. Now your life is shot. You're going to pick that phone up one day and that girl going to be done dumped you and raise your child with another man. Or maybe your mama or your grandmama dies. Because ain't nothing you can do about it. You got 15 to 20 years, state or fed time. Real talk. Don't lose your head, use your head, man. Gun crime, max time.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, here to explain the Tennessee Hands-Free Law, which is a new state law effective July 1st, 2019. In Public Chapter 412, it makes it illegal for a driver to hold a cell phone or a mobile device with any part of their body, to write, send, or read any text-based communication, to reach for a cell phone or mobile device in a manner that requires the driver to no longer be in a seated driving position or properly restrained by a seatbelt, to watch a video or a movie on a cell phone or a mobile device, and to record or broadcast video on a cell phone or mobile device. So, can I still talk on my cell phone while driving? Yes. A driver is permitted to use an earpiece, headphone device, or a device worn on a wrist to conduct a voice-based communication. The driver may use one button on a cell phone or mobile device to initiate or terminate voice communication, and voice-based communication may also be used to send a text message. Learn more at handsfreetn.com.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you with it? Yeah, we with it. Big time players make big time plays. 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 Go hard, go hard, go hard, go hard. go home, go hard, go hard, go hard, go home. Cause big time players make big time plays.
And we are live back again in the studio. Talkback Live Network presents Talk Sports Live. Glad to be here again for y'all on this Friday evening. And man, got a lot to talk about here on today. Appreciate everybody that's joining me so far and continuing to come on in the building. Of course, I'm your host, Josh Midgett, man, here to talk some sports on today. And man, there's some stuff to talk about because it is the first Football Friday edition, meaning this is football weekend. NFL Sunday, first week of the regular season. College football, the first real week, if you want to say, even though last week was a good week, but this week you got a lot more really good matchups coming up this Saturday as well. Got football this Sunday and Monday in the NFL. So much stuff to get to, man, and I'm excited about it. I know y'all are too as well. Of course, again, I'm your host, Joshua Midgett, here in the Talkback Live Network studios. And, man, we're here ready to get some talk going today. Several things we want to get into. Shout out to everybody coming on in. I see you, Verdell. I see you, Leon. Bob in the building as well, saying good evening to everyone. Y'all come on in the room. Continue to come in. Say what's up to your boy here on this day. And already, y'all know, as I like to say, man, if you're in the room, go ahead and hit that like button for me before we even get started, because this thing is going to keep on rolling on today. Hit that like button if you're in the room. Go ahead and share the video as well if you can. And we're going to get this thing started, man. So, again, welcome to Talk Sports Live. I want to get into several things today, right? This is week number 2, college football, week number 1 of the NFL. Of course, it kicked off last night with the Rams and the Buffalo Bills, which was a very good game. But as you all know, I'm a Titans fan. I'm fired up for this season, but yet I'm a little, I don't want to say apprehensive, but I'm in a wait and see position. I think we're going to be very good, but there's a lot of question marks as well. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. And speaking of question marks, we're going to start on this right off the bat, okay? Question mark number 1 is Ryan Silverfield. Oh, and let me do this real quick before I get into that. Because I almost wanted to go live after that game was over. I was so into it, and it was on a Sunday night. Florida State LSU last week. Amazing game, right? It was good. It was bad at the same time. That right there, kind of going back a little bit, but that right there is a prime example of some of what I've been talking about and some of what we've been talking about over the past several years here on the show about levels in coaching. I never believed in Brian Kelly. Never. Even when he was at Notre Dame, doing what he did, had some good records, went to the national title, got blown out, had this team, I think, as high as number 5 in the nation last year, decided to leave and go to LSU, goes down there and introduces himself with the fake Southern accent. And you see right there how a coach can be overhyped. Got a ton of talent, ton of resources. I know it's his first game. Maybe it'll get a lot better from here. Who knows? I don't believe it, but who knows? And let's look at the other side of things. Mike Norvell, former Tigers coach. This is why I wanted to bring this up just real quickly, because I wanted to bring it up last week when I saw the game. A lot of people will say that win by Mike Norvell is the biggest in his career at Florida State. And I would agree with you. It was on a national platform. The world was watching.
Everybody's got the hot seat ready for Norvell with the stove burner on high, ready to sit him down in it. I wouldn't turn that burner off yet, but that was a big win for Norvell. But if you want to come to me and say this is why you shouldn't criticize him, you're wrong. Because Norvell had that game won and literally did everything he could to hand it back to LSU. The good thing about LSU is that their coach did everything possible to hand it back to Florida State. They were playing hot potato with it, and by a mere accident, Florida State ends up winning. You can look at the mismanagement down the stretch. You can look at Norvell's decision-making that put Florida State in a bad position. You could talk about all those things. That was why I was critical of Norvell at Memphis. I'm not saying he's a terrible coach. He can get you there, but when it gets to that point, he seems to not have great decision-making at the last moment. He saw it at Memphis. It's the reason why we never won a bowl game under Mike Norvell, despite all the great things that happened. Let's not forget about those things. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up to prove that I was correct on something, which may sound petty, but it is what it is. 901-213-6020, the number to call if you want to join me as we begin to dive in on today. And again, if you're in the building, like that video and share as well. So, not only do we got college football, you got the Tigers taking on Navy this weekend. You got the Tennessee Volunteers taking on the Pittsburgh Panthers in a top 25 matchup. Pittsburgh 17th in the country. Tennessee is 24 in the country. You got Alabama taking on Texas this weekend. Let me get into some more of that in a little bit here. But let's start with the Tigers, man, because we are in Memphis. You do see I had the Liberty Bowl behind me to some degree, behind the backdrop there with a sellout crowd. Don't know when that's going to happen again, but nonetheless. So there's something that stuck out to me. Yeah, he did. Right there. He said Silverfield did break the bowl losing streak. I get that. But let's look at something here. I saw there was a lot of talk after the Mississippi State game. And the Tigers losing to Mississippi State. Some of the talk was, I knew Ryan Silverfield was a no-good bum, and we need to dump him now. Some of the talk was, hey, guys, calm down. We were supposed to lose. We were a 17-point underdog to Mississippi State. We were supposed to lose that game. And we did what we were supposed to do, which I think is silly. And then there's some people in the middle that are still in a wait-and-see position. I'm going to tell you where I am. I am where I was last week. And nothing about last week's game should make any Tiger fan feel any better. And I'm going to prove something else to you. Let me go here, because I want everybody to see what I'm talking about. Let me make sure all the Tiger fans will be tuned in with what I'm about to say. Make sure I put this in this group here before I get rolling, as I do what I need to do. All right, so Ryan Silverfield, he had some things to say after the Mississippi State game. Of course, coaches have press conferences, and you know how that thing goes. But he had some things to say. And you know, when a coach loses a game like that, they usually come out, they want to come out and send a message in their press conference, right? That we're not going to allow this to happen again. That I know what the problem was, and we need to come out and not do this again. That we're determined, that I am determined as a coach of this football team, that we're not going to let this happen again. This is not going to be incumbent on the rest of this season, because we know what we need to do, and we know what we need to get it done, and we know what we need to do to fix the problem. I'm sure that's what Ryan Silverfield said in his press conference. Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, I have it here. And let me just play a little bit of it. And I'm sure he said all those things that I just talked about. So let's hear what Ryan Silverfield had to say immediately after the game last weekend.
I do think that's one of those things that, I know we talked about that last year. Is it something I got to do differently? But our guys have been as dialed in, as focused as I've ever seen them. And I mean that wholeheartedly. If our meetings this week were fantastic. Our walkthroughs, our practices, our guys were dialed in. They 100% believed in the game plan. And I think part of that was, just being able to go out there and put it all together. And I don't know what it is. I wish I had an exact answer. Hey, why do we start slow on the road? Why is it like this for back-to-back years? Obviously, it is a different season with different personnel. So I've got to sit back and say, okay, is there something we can do differently?
Hold on. Let me go back.
And and I think part of that was, talked about that last year, is it something I got to do differently? But our guys have been as dialed in, as focused as I've ever seen them.
Okay.
And I mean that wholeheartedly. If our meetings this week were fantastic. Our walkthroughs, our practices, our guys were dialed in.
But that's not the game.
They 100% believed in the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I think part of that was, just being able to go out there and put it all together. And I don't know what it is. I wish I had an exact answer. Hey, why do we start slow on the road? Why is
Okay. Hold on. Hold it. What? Hold on. So Ryan Silverfield, the head coach of the University of Memphis football Tigers, he said, this was right after the game at Mississippi State now. He said, we had incredible walkthroughs. We had impeccable practices, meetings. Our meetings were so undeniably unbelievable. Our practices were impeccably perfectionate. It's not even a word, but y'all know what I'm saying. The players were focused. They did everything we told them to do. But I don't know what happened. Seriously. You don't know what happened. You don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I knew, guys. Guys, I wish I knew. I wish I knew what the problem was. You expect us to have faith in the rest of the season, and you don't know what in the world you got going on right now? You don't know what the problem was. For y'all just coming in and think I'm ranting about something, hold on. I got to go back again. I need y'all to understand this. Listen to Coach Silverfish or Field, as Bob has said in the comments. Check this out.
And I mean that wholeheartedly.
Listen to how focused he said the team was in this beatdown against Mississippi State. He said the team was so focused, laser focused. He's never seen them this focused. Never. He's never seen the Tigers football team this focused. He was an assistant under Norvell when they beat SMU on ABC at 7 p.m. Beat an SMU team that was ranked in the top 20. He was on that team that did more than any Memphis team had ever done, except in the postseason. But this blowout against loss to Mississippi State, he never seen his guys as locked in as they were in practice. Either he's lying or he's stupid, or both. Check it out.
I do think that's one of those things that, I know we talked about that last year. Is it something I got to do differently? But our guys have been as dialed in, as focused as I've ever seen them. And I mean that wholeheartedly. If our meetings this week were fantastic. Our walkthroughs, our practices, our guys were dialed in. They 100% believed in the game plan. And, and I think part of that was, just being able to go out there and put it all together. And I don't know what it is. I wish I had an exact answer. Hey, why do we start? and put it all together. And I don't know what it is. I wish I had an exact answer together. And I don't know what it is. I wish I had an exact answer. Hey, why do we start slow together? And I don't know what it is.
Well, that's the problem. And no, that wasn't a glitch. I was repeating that. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Now, to be specific, what he's talking about as far as he doesn't know what it is. He doesn't know what it is of why they start slow on the road every single time. They're 2-8 on the road under Ryan Silverfield. And y'all can like it, and you might not like it. But look, here's the thing. To those Tiger fans that are saying we got to support our team through and through, I do. But that doesn't mean you be stupid. That doesn't mean you lie to yourself. That doesn't mean you call good bad and bad good. You call bad bad and you call good good. And if you don't like honesty, then that is what it is. But if you want to keep it real with yourself, you tell me, in your honest opinion, if you hear this coach, if he's the coach of your team, you're one of the players on that team, he says, I don't know what we need to do. Some will say, oh, well, he's being honest. He's being transparent. He's not hiding the fact that he doesn't know. At least he's honest about it. My problem isn't him being honest about it. My problem is that he doesn't know. You're paid to know. You're a football coach. You don't need to say you don't know. And it's a problem when you say you had the best week of practice in your life and you come out and get destroyed. They didn't play Alabama. I don't care what people want to say about Mississippi State. They're good. They're picked to finish 6th in their division of their conference in the SEC. I know it's a tough division. I know Texas A&M, Alabama, Auburn, LSU, all in that division. But we are not playing them. We're playing Mississippi State. A Mississippi State team that the Tigers beat last year. Now, I understand they were very motivated to beat the Tigers, and the Tigers should have understood that coming into that game. Point blank. The point blank problem is they were not prepared. They were not prepared. And that needs to be the honest truth that you tell yourself. And if you don't want to tell yourself, I'll tell you for you. It is what it is. Now, if you disagree with me, feel free. Let me make sure I got my phone lines open here. Make sure the phone lines are open as I'm talking, because I definitely want y'all to get through. If you got some opinions, okay, they're open now. And Greg, I think I missed you, brother. Come on through now. I think we should be good to get Greg in. Greg out of Topeka, Kansas, trying to get in. Here we go.
Call from Greg on radio to accept.
All right, got you in, Greg. How you feeling today, man? What's going on?
What it do, Josh? What it do?
Well, I don't know. It's like Ryan Silverfield.
Hold on, don't throw the Silverfield at me. You don't know now. Come on.
I don't know what's going on, man. I'm just here.
We're not gonna do that tonight. But look, man. All right. Well, we could have got the I don't know, or we could have gotten the see what had happened. You know, it could have went either way.
This is true. This is true.
They could have went either way. So I didn't get a chance to either listen or watch any of the game last week. So I just kind of caught some updates on the ESPN app because old Hulu wrote me into buying a subscription, and they lied to me, Josh, and said I could catch the game. But come to find out, I had to buy the other Hulu.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is like $1 billion.
I know what you mean.
I didn't have
Yeah.
I didn't have $1 billion, Josh. I just didn't have $1 billion.
Oh man.
So there you go. But I was looking at the box score as I was catching the app, and I was kind of wondering, did Memphis stay on the bus? I was wondering, looking at the box score, but sure, now, some people have alleged that, they couldn't get momentum because, it felt like when they wanted to get momentum, they got the big old lightning delay, which was about 2 hours or something.
It was, yeah, about 2 hours.
Something like that, But hey, man, I don't think, this is a whole new squad except well, I don't know. Well, it was basically a new squad for Silverfield, right? Other than the QB.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. They lost the key playmakers. Now, a lot of these guys aren't back though, but they're playing in bigger roles than they had before. To put it that way.
Yeah.
Like the receiver.
Well, I know they lost the key defensive. Didn't they lose a key defensive player early in the game or something?
Yeah, I forget who exactly it was, but that was that. And then, they're still trying to establish what they are on offense without Calvin Austin because he was basically a cheat code last year. Okay, just throw it up to him.
Right.
But now you have to actually establish it. Plus, and these aren't excuses because they've had all summer to work on this, but they got a new offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. So those are things to think about as well. So,
So we didn't get shredded completely on defense, though, did we? I don't.
Well,
I don't exactly remember.
I put it this way.
I'm
saying I put it this way. The guy was at one point he went 6 for 6 on third downs. They didn't stop the run or the pass. And I think it was 35 to 3 at one point in the first half. I'm not counting that final score. Yeah. People say the Tigers scored a little bit. That was late in that game.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the third quarter. It was late. And Mississippi State could care less. They were ready to go. You know what I'm saying? It was like probably 1 in the morning almost. So, no, I'm not giving you that. I'm giving you them 3 points in the first half. But yeah, go ahead.
All right, so now we got 2 bugaboos that lingered from last year.
Mm-hmm.
The slow start and couldn't get nobody off the field on third down last year either.
Yes, that's true. Very
I
true.
mean, the third down was gold for everybody last year.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't wait to get the third down on them.
I'm telling you. Real talk. And I'm going to throw this at you. Like, and I brought this up. Silverfield, they asked him about the question that I kept replaying his audio here was being asked about his record on the road and why they keep doing this in his time as head coach going back to last season. They're 2-8 on the road under Silverfield, and that's not good. It's not good, especially when you got a road game coming up this weekend at Navy. So,
I tell you, I'm not going to give them a pass on Mississippi State. However, the odds were stacked against them. Revenge game, 16-point underdog on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, fine. Now, maybe it's terrible. Worse than last year, possible. Now, if we don't come out and absolutely smash those guys, then, we in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
A lot of trouble. I mean, last year we had the defensive slugfest against Navy last year, which was ridiculous in itself.
Yes.
Came out victorious, I guess. If you want to call that victorious.
Yeah.
But if they don't come out absolute, choke these guys out, get them on the floor, put their feet on their neck and twist.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know, because tomorrow I'm thinking about going ahead and get a subscription with whoever has CSS so I can watch the game.
Okay.
Okay. I was able to find an app where I can listen to the radio feed tomorrow, but I really want to see the game.
Yeah, I get that.
And tomorrow is do or die, man, for the season. I hate to say it this early, but it is.
I agree. 100%.
Now, as far as, the Tiger fans out there, I used to be on the Tigers Facebook fan club. I had to get off that crap. Because the homerism was sickening.
It's sickening.
And I got beat up so bad last year. Good Lord.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. And about halfway through the season, maybe. No, that was actually, I didn't get off until the basketball season. I had to get off in the basketball season.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I had to get off that I can't be part of this fan club because those are fanatics. Those ain't fans.
Yeah, exactly. And look, I'm all for loving it.
It's like,
yeah.
Go ahead, Josh.
No, I'm saying I'm all for loving your team, but I mean, come on now, like don't be blind. You know what I mean? Don't be blind. That's the biggest thing. So
can't have your blue tinted shades on and drinking the blue tinted Kool-Aid. Come on.
I'm telling you.
We gotta have some semblance of realism when we chat about stuff like this.
Absolutely. That's why I'm here to provide.
And the first thing they want to say is you hate your team. Why you hate? I ain't hate nobody. Are y'all watching the same thing that I'm watching?
It makes you want.
I mean, man.
It really makes.
And that's why I said I just finally had I had enough of this. I had to get off the Grizzly page too.
Hey,
I had to get off there.
Oh, hey, look. I know I'm still in it, but I'm not as involved as I once was. But because if you say a half a thing wrong, so he missed that free throw. How dare you with this hate speech toward our city and life? Like, oh, okay, all right, okay.
Man, I had to cut my porch light on at one point. To the store, I saw some. What they call it, pitchforks and torches going to some of my way,
Wearing blue.
It's like, whew.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't moving real fast. I guess it might have been a geriatric crowd. I'm not sure.
Oh, wow. See, there you go.
Yeah. But,
at least you can run away.
I mean, yeah, so but hey, man, I'm true blue Tiger,
Same here.
all the way here from Topeka.
Yes, sir.
It is what it is, but I'm gonna keep my thoughts real on it,
Absolutely.
Can't be overcome by the homerism. Can't do it, man. I mean, I don't even know how you. I don't know how you sit and enjoy a game when you can't be real with yourself.
Yeah, I never understood that. I never understood that. I'm, even with my Titans, I think that's the closest I get to delusion. You know what I mean? But it happens temporarily, because I feel the urge to say Super Bowl, but I'm really calm because I don't know what to expect from my team this year. I really can't even lie to you. But we'll see.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, man. And I had to back up off my Cowboys fan page because it's like, man,
well, y'all the
how are we
craziest.
going to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, sure they got plane tickets, but already. But I'm not gonna sit here and I'm like this. When it comes to my boys, real quick. I don't think the Cowboys gonna do nothing else until Jerry Jones is gone. I've been saying that for about 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna do it. Yeah, hopefully they'll surprise me. They've been in position a couple of times to make a couple of good runs.
Yeah.
But overall, I just don't think it's gonna happen. With him at the helm.
Well,
but I digress from that. But let's go Tigers, go, man. Either way, I'm gonna catch either the radio feed or I'm gonna break down and see what they talking about on this trial I can get, my 7-day free trial.
Hey, I know how.
But
I'm
gonna cancel it.
Yes.
Soon as those zeros hit the scoreboard, I'm canceling that subscription.
Yes, sir. I know how that is.
Amazon got me a couple of weeks ago with a $93 charge.
Woo! Oh no!
tell my son, nah, you still have the subscription. Man, I don't even watch, not Amazon, but AMC.
Oh.
Like, I don't even watch AMC. What are you guys talking about?
AMC.
Well, you subscribe, look, bro, hey, I was nice. And they actually refunded my money. And I was really surprised. I guess because I just kept it, I just kept it down. I kept the heat down on my little emails.
Look, all I know is actually gave me back the money. You want to talk about pitchfork worthy? I think that might be, if they ain't give you money back, $93. Ain't no way.
Oh yeah, because man, but it was all good though. But yeah, man, like I said, man, go Tigers, go.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. I hope that game plan goes as planned.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that they had a game plan against Mississippi State. I like to think so. I can't believe, and I refuse to believe that, Coach would be that inept. Now whatever that game plan was, it went to Bluey. So whatever that was, you need to burn it, stomp on it, pour some water on it, sweep it up, and throw it away.
Matter of fact, Greg, before you go, we need you to come back for a day and exterminate that game plan. You know what I'm saying? And just make sure that thing is dead, so we can move on.
Yeah.
Hey,
boy,
man,
whatever that was, they don't need to try it no more because I was looking, like I said.
Mm-hmm. Greg? I don't know. I think we might have lost Greg again. Man, it seems like it's... You there, Greg?
Hello?
Yeah. You dropped out on us a little bit. It's all good.
Did Memphis even have 60 yards rushing?
I don't think so. I know they had one long run, so I'm not even going to count
that.
They
had one long run. Yeah, was that a run at the 50-yard or whatever? What was it, a 50-yard touchdown or 40-something yard touchdown?
I think it was something like that from Ducker.
Was that a run or I don't remember exactly because like I said, I was just looking at the box score.
Yeah. Hey, look, even at that point, I'm like, hey, am I still watching this or watching my phone? But
yeah,
hey, but Greg, man, hey man, we appreciate the call all the way from Topeka, Kansas. Some people will call enemy territory because of the Kansas relationship, but
oh, Josh,
yes, sir.
Hey, can you get pics on this phone? I need. Since you said enemy territory, I need to send you something. Oh, I can't send it on Messenger. I caught some mysterious charges on Facebook, and I am currently incarcerated. So
see, that's what they did. My problems. I mean, good grief. Facebook, has got me on the wall somewhere. But anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm gonna try to hit you up so you can send me whatever. Because I feel like I need to.
You gonna trip out, Josh. You gonna trip.
Oh man, hey Greg.
Send me something so I can show you these pics, man.
All right, gotcha. Appreciate you, brother, as always.
All right, Josh. Peace out, man.
All right. That's my guy, Greg. Big supporter. Appreciate him as always. Let me get to this one comment here I saw. And I think he said it perfectly. Shout out to Paul Tilson. He says, seems to me like player development is a real problem under Silverfield. We have no playmakers anymore. Standing ovation, Paul. Glad to see a Tiger fan that's real. And I'm going to tell you something. This ain't about getting on and ragging on Silverfield to get, people to respond. This is my real, honest opinions. And I've seen the Tigers since before Larry Porter. You know what I'm saying? And before this uptick that happened, you know what I'm saying? The Tommy West days, even the good days, D'Angelo Williams, Danny Wimprine, you know what I'm saying? Guys like that when they were doing their thing. But player development, that's coaching. That's really what coaching is. It's not just being there calling plays that makes you a coach. It's developing players, especially when you're at the college level. The pro level too, but you're in college. You're molding guys from high school into something that you can develop over time in college. That's what the job is, development. They can't be the same guy they were in high school unless they're one of those super duper 5-star elite guys, and there's very few of those. Everybody's not one of those guys. And when you're at Memphis, you're not going to always get a guy like that. Even some guys may slip through the cracks. And it's ironic at Memphis, the guys that become those transcendent players at the college level are walk-ons. Look back at Anthony Miller. Was not wanted by anybody out of high school. Given an opportunity to come to the University of Memphis, became a college superstar. One of, if not the best wide receiver in the nation. Got drafted. He's currently with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's injured right now. Or Antonio Gibson, another one, came in, made a name for himself. On national TV, his signature game was the one we all talk about. College Game Day comes to town. Memphis shows out. ABC primetime, 7 p.m. SMU Memphis in the sold-out Liberty Bowl. National lights on Memphis. Antonio Gibson has the game of his life. Parlays that into an NFL career with the Washington Commanders. You know what I'm saying? That's another one. Calvin Austin was the most recent example of a guy didn't get a scholarship till way later. He was a basketball player at the University of Memphis for a half a season. He was a guy that nobody thought was going to play because he was too little. He was a superstar athlete at track and field. Got an opportunity. Now he's with the Pittsburgh Steelers, ironically as well. So what I'm saying is, when you go back in time, the Tommy West, and I know that was a different environment in college football, but it still applies. The Tommy West of the world went to bowl games. It may have been small bowls, the New Orleans Bowl, the Little Caesars or whatever bowl, but they went to bowl games with no real attention or resources paid to the football program. With a Liberty Bowl stadium with roaches and rats and terrible facilities. They went to bowl games. Justin Fuente coming in after Larry Porter with the bowl games. Won the first AAC title in a split decision. I forget who the other team was that they were tied co-champions that year before they had a title game. Resources get poured in. Norvell, off the shoulders of Fuente, pushes it up a little more. A lot more. Silverfield is on a silver platter of resources, of talent that's been built for years and years and years. He's had 2 straight years. I won't repeat this for Tigers fans that want to continue to make excuses for Silverfield. 2 consecutive years of record-breaking recruiting classes. Last year had the best recruiting class in Memphis Tiger football history. This past year, the best recruiting class in Tiger football history. This coming year is looking pretty good as well. He's doing the job on that point. But to Paul Tilson's point, player development ain't happening. Norvell got players. Fuente got players. You got all these guys. You building it up. Why are you still losing? Why are you not able to win on the road? Why is nobody able to distinguish itself? It's a problem. And I said this last year. Me and Bob talked about it. This is Silverfield's year to make it or break it. And more people are coming to that realization now. They didn't want to admit it before the season started. But now that they see the same crap going on, now everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon that we've already been saying. We'll see. It's early, but I'm going to tell you this right now. That hot seat's going to be on fire if they lose the Navy. And even if they win and it's a close game against Navy, unacceptable. Navy is terrible. It's one of the worst Navy teams in a long time. No excuse. This is a Navy team, I believe, that lost to a Division II school last week. I'm double checking on that right now. It's not a good Navy football program. Not the Navy teams that Norvell play. Yeah, Navy lost to Delaware, 14-7. The Delaware Fighting Blue Hens. Navy lost to a team and a bunch of Blue Hens. Come on now. In Delaware. I ain't know Delaware had a football team. The Delaware Fighting Blue Hens beat Navy last week. Come on. And I'm looking at the stats in that game. This had to be one of the worst games I've ever heard of. Navy, not Navy, but Delaware. And I want to make sure I got the box score right. I'm going to look at the box score. I almost don't believe what I'm seeing. Okay. All right. Navy had, let's see. Well, I'm looking at Delaware. Delaware won the game. Delaware had 200 total yards. Delaware ran for 13 yards. They passed for 189, and they beat Navy 14-7. Navy's quarterback went 5 for 13, 135 yards. Okay. Yeah. Memphis needs to crush Navy, period. I know Navy plays that weird style of football, but I don't care. You got to crush Navy. Now, I don't want to hear after that game Ryan Silverfield coming up saying, well, I don't know what we need to do. But we had a great week of practice. I saw the look in their eyes, and they look, I don't care about how your practice went when you lost by 25 points. If you think I'm making it up, I'm going to play this one last time. Coach, what Bob said, Silverfish, Silverfield, and his explanation on what happened last week and why they keep losing on the road. Now, this is the head coach of the football program. Here's his profound answer. Here it is.
And I do think that's one of those things that, I know we talked about that last year. Is it something I got to do differently? But our guys have been as dialed in, as focused as I've ever seen them. And I mean that wholeheartedly. If our meetings this week were fantastic. Our walkthroughs, our practices, our guys were dialed in. They 100% believed in the game plan. And I think part of that was, just being able to go out there and put it all together. And I don't know what it is. I wish I had an exact answer. Hey, why do we start slow on the road? Why is it like this for back-to-back years? Obviously, it is a different season with different personnel. So I've got to sit back and say, okay, is there something we can do differently? But, I mean, if anybody that saw the preparation leading up to tonight would say, wow, it was phenomenal.
All right. Well, Coach Silverfield, I appreciate your phenomenal preparation for last week's beatdown against Mississippi State, but you need to be a little better than phenomenal. I'm not sure what's better than phenomenal. Phenomenal is a big word to use. We had the best phenomenalist preparation that I've ever seen. But I don't know why we lost. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Coach Silverfield, for that. Now, moving on to something else. Let's talk about some teams that actually have coaches that know how to coach football teams. So there's a few games. I'm going to talk briefly about this. There's a few games I'm really looking forward to this weekend. Memphis Navy is not one of those, even though I will be watching. And if y'all, outside of the Tigers and Memphis and everything else, there's a lot of football going on, a lot of college football. What games are you most looking forward to this weekend? You can put that in the comments below. Feel free. Bob said he's talking on a junior high school football level. That's just too funny right there. But yeah, what's good, big dog? I see you, man. Tennessee Titans fan club got a big game this weekend. Titans Giants. And we're actually the second game at 3:30, I think the game is. Used to the 12 p.m. starts, but nonetheless, I'll take it. It's football. So talk about that. But top college football games I'm looking forward to this weekend. Number one is the number one team in the nation. Alabama is taking on the Texas Longhorns in Texas. This is not talked about too much, but they're in Texas taking on the Texas Longhorns. Now, one thing about Texas, they always got talent. They always, are doing some interesting things. But their coach has underperformed since he got there. He was supposed to turn it all around, and he hasn't. Now, again, I don't know who can match Alabama talent-wise. I mean, we talk about deep, they are ridiculous. But Texas has talent, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think Alabama's going to win. I think they're going to crush Texas in Texas. But you never know. You're stepping into Longhorn territory, so we shall see. We shall see. Another game I'm looking forward to is Texas A&M and Appalachian State. Now, that might sound weird. Like, why Josh Appalachian State? What are you looking forward to that mess for? Well, look, here's the thing. First of all, I'm interested in everything Texas A&M has to offer this year. You know why? Because Jimbo Fisher went off on Nick Saban in an epic rant that will never be forgotten by me. He talked about how Nick Saban does things in a questionable manner. He was a former assistant coach under Nick Saban, remember, not that long ago. He talks about how Nick Saban, how dare he question the way he gets his players. We don't cheat how we get our guys. Don't you dare imply that, I'm done with him. I ain't talking to him no more. He tried to call me. I ain't returning that joker's call, all that type of stuff. So just because of all that, I am super interested in everything Texas A&M does this year. You better not lose to no Appalachian State when you got probably the best team that you've ever had at Texas A&M if you're Jimbo Fisher. They out-recruited Alabama in the rankings for the first time. Ton of talent. They're ranked number 6 in the nation. Here's the reason why I bring up Appalachian State game. Not just because of that. Because Appalachian State put up 61 points last week against North Carolina. North Carolina Tar Heels. Now, North Carolina is not Texas A&M, but they are a good football team. So if you can do that, that means you're at least capable. So we'll see what happens. And Texas A&M is known to have a big-time defense. If you're them, you need to make a statement. Now, let's not forget, Appalachian State did lose to North Carolina because they gave up 63 points. So clearly you can score on Appalachian State. So I think A&M needs, I don't care what Appalachian State did last week, they need to beat down App State. But it's going to be interesting nonetheless to see what happens there. Now for me, I'm very much interested in the Tennessee Vols as well. I like Josh Heupel. I like the hire when some were criticizing it because I know they've been looking for a steady coach for a long time. And I think they got it. When they weren't looking for the big hire, they weren't looking for a superstar name. They got a guy that can coach football. And I love his style of play. I love Hendon Hooker as a quarterback. Big fan of him. He showed me a lot last year. I like quarterbacks that can not only do a threat, but they're tough. He showed me toughness last year. When he got popped so many times, he played hurt. He led drives when he, was in an injured state. All that stuff. That's toughness. It's leadership. That's what I like to see in a quarterback. And I like Hendon Hooker. And I think he has the potential to be in the Heisman conversation if the games continue to go that way. They have some weapons as well. But all that being said, this game's at 3:30 on ABC, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central on ABC. They're playing the 17th ranked Pittsburgh Panthers. And Pittsburgh is very good. So we'll see what happens, man. I think that's going to be a very, very good game coming up this weekend. Another game I'm looking forward to is 20th ranked Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky. I know, right? Taking on 12th ranked Florida. It's funny how that works. Florida wasn't ranked last week. They weren't ranked. They beat the 7th ranked Utah Utes in Florida. And now Florida moves up to 12. It pays to be a big-time name in college football. Ain't no way if Memphis beat Utah and they're unranked that Memphis is moving up to number 12 in the nation. But nonetheless, Florida's good. They were definitely better than an unranked team, I think, heading into the season. So that may be some of the reason why. But they're 12th now. I love their quarterback, Richardson. I think he's big time. You saw that sick pump fake he did, reversing field and throwing that touchdown pass. I think Florida can be dangerous. So it's going to be interesting. But Kentucky's always is, a rising program as well in the SEC East. But we will see if Florida's the real deal because Kentucky can do their thing. So we'll see what happens there. So those are some of the games I'm looking forward to this weekend when it comes to college football. Let me look at some of y'all comments here that came in. Definitely, Big Dog, add me to the group. Frankie says Alabama versus Texas and Tennessee versus Pitt. Yeah, some of the same ones I'm looking forward to. Verdell on YouTube says he's got Bama 52-3 over Texas, who is always overrated in his book. He also says Appalachian State can score. Yeah, exactly. That's why I got my eye on that Appalachian State Texas A&M game. So y'all remember these games that I got my eye on. So we'll see what happens in each of those. All right, y'all. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about, before I get into the NFL, the Southern Heritage Classic. Did y'all forget it was this weekend? I know so much, a lot of bad has gone on in the city of Memphis. But that's why I'm focusing on sports today. I know we're going to talk some about that stuff this weekend on Talkback Live with Bob and Josh this weekend. So stay tuned for that and what we're going to have coming up this weekend. But a lot of cool things. Southern Heritage Classic, the final edition, Jackson State versus Tennessee State. And Deion Sanders has made it known he ain't studying the Classic. And if he did make some more statements, because you may remember several months ago, he said, we ain't doing that thing in Memphis no more. Then there was a lawsuit filed because there was a breach of contract. So we'll talk about all that when I come back. Let me not tell you everything right now. You're listening to Talk Sports Live. I'm your host, Joshua Midgett, and I'll be back right after this.
For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save, 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste.
I watch y'all coming here for years because you shot somebody. Now your life is shot. You're going to pick that phone up one day and that girl going to be and raise your child with another man. Or maybe your mama or your grandmama dies. Because ain't nothing you can do. You got 15 to 20 years, state or fed time. Real talk. Don't lose your head, use your head, man. gun crime, max time.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Pedestrian safety is a two-way street. Both drivers and walkers need to do their part to keep roads safe. When you're walking, remember, the drivers may not always see you, so remember to use these tips to continue to walk safely. Wear bright clothes. Always use crosswalks and obey signs. Lights and reflectors should be used. And finally, keep alert and do not walk distracted. This message brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Patrol.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
Really good try. There aren't any cops around.
Didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay?
Go hard, I go home, go hard, I go home, go hard, I go home, go hard, I go home. Let's go, let's get it. Are you ready? Are you with it? Yeah, we with it. Let's go, let's get it. Are you ready? Are you with it? Yeah, we with it. Big time players make big time plays. Big time players make big time plays. Big time players make big time plays. Big time players make big time plays.
All right, we're back. Talk Sports Live. I'm your host, Joshua Midgett, back in the building. Got a few minutes left in the show today. Glad for everybody that's joined me again. It's like the video. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button, and all that stuff, man. So we can keep that rolling. For those that are watching that came in a little later after I did so, hit that like button. Greatly appreciate it. Share button, even more so appreciate it as well. Let you know I'm here every Friday around 7:30 p.m. for Talk Sports Live. You can join me here as well. So, talking about the Southern Heritage Classic this weekend, Jackson State, Tennessee State, big time tradition in the city of Memphis. At the Liberty Bowl, all the activities surrounding it. You got the bands in town. Got my man Verdell watching on YouTube says the Jackson State band is at the Whitehaven game. So that's cool. Cool to check out. But you know, how do y'all feel that this is the last edition? How do you feel about that? A lot of people are not happy. What's up, Vicky? Vicky, always fashionably late to the program, but I definitely appreciate Vicky as always, man, coming in the building, checking us out. Jackson State, Tennessee State, Southern Heritage Classic. First of all, are you going to the event or any activities around the event? Because I know there's a lot of that as well. Tennessee State, coached by Eddie George. Jackson State, coached by Deion Sanders. And Deion has made it known they ain't coming back no more. Deion said, hey, man, it's been nice. Memphis is cool. But we ain't doing this Southern Heritage Classic mess no more. It's the last year. He's only doing it this year because of the lawsuit that was filed because they were in breach of contract by saying they weren't going to do it this year. So they're fulfilling their obligations before they move on. But Deion Sanders is like, hey, we ain't got time for this Southern Heritage Classic stuff. We got other stuff to be doing. Putting our money on. Spending our money. It's a waste of money. If you don't believe me, Listen to this news report where Deion talks about it himself. Check this out, y'all.
Now let's start with JSU. The Tigers beat Florida A&M 59-3 in the Orange Blossom Classic. I'm sure Coach Prime will never get tired of that, but he could do with a little bit less classic. Jackson State announced in February it would be pulling out of the Southern Heritage Classic against Tennessee State after this year, a decision that led to a lawsuit from the bowl operation company. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, that game is this weekend. Coach Prime says he's a little bit tired of all the classics.
We're there to play football. I don't know how this could be awkward when you come to play football. The purpose is to play football, and that's what we're coming to play. As far as the business aspect of that, it's not beneficial to us. It's not suitable for us. And we love the classic. It's a wonderful classic. We just don't want to play it.
Classics were so 2021 anyways. Another little wrinkle here. Last week, Tennessee State head coach Eddie George said only 2 schools are off limits for his son to play college ball. One of them, it's Jackson State.
So Eddie George says it's only 2 schools he does not want his son to play football, and one of them is Jackson State. So that's interesting. Let me go back to Deion again with his thoughts on the Heritage Classic in case y'all didn't hear it the first time.
We're there to play football. I don't know how this could be awkward when you come to play football. The purpose is to play football, and that's what we're coming to play. As far as the business aspect of that, it's not beneficial to us. It's not suitable for us. And we love the classic. It's a wonderful classic. We just don't want to play it.
Oh, it's a wonderful classic. We just don't want nothing to do. We don't want to play in it. But the classic is wonderful. So that's Deion's thoughts on the Heritage Classic. How do y'all feel about what Deion had to say? How do you feel? Are you shocked? Are you appalled? Now, according to Deion again, not trying to make him an enemy of y'all or anything, but he said it's not mutually beneficial for Jackson State because of all the money they have to spend on bringing players and buses and all that. Me and Bob saw one of the buses stop traffic. Ran into one of the buses there. And a huge police escort for a Jackson State bus. It was, I think, 2 of them yesterday. So some of y'all may have ran into that as well. And they had the police bikes in the middle of the road saying, hey, stop, with their shades on and helmets. And 2 black police crews. I thought it was the president coming through. It was Jackson State. And I'm like, hey, that's cool. Respect. But Deion said, man, look, it's not me, it's you. Or it's not you, it's me, It's me. I don't want to be there anymore. It's not you. I love you. You're good. I have no problem with you, but I just don't want to be in this relationship anymore. I'm not blaming you. I just don't want to do it no more. So how do y'all feel about that? As Vicky just says here in the comments, 33 years of history ends this Saturday with the Heritage Classic. I guess they're going to have to come up with another one because, seemingly Tennessee State is still down. I'm sure they could find somebody else. But this is a big tradition for families in Memphis, for families in Jackson, Mississippi, and Tennessee State University, alums, all of this stuff, man. So Deion's like, all the money that they spend is not beneficial for them. All these different classics. He said, I'm tired of all this mess. So there it is. Deion Sanders decides to do what he has decided to do for the benefit of his university. So and I want to hear this one more time, man, just because I think it's so hilarious. But
I don't know how this could be awkward when you come to play football. The purpose is to play football, and that's what we're coming to play. As far as the business aspect of that, it's not beneficial to us. It's not suitable for us. And we love the classic. It's a wonderful classic. We just don't want to play it.
Too funny, man. So there it is. Deion says we done with that. We done with that. We're moving on. So there it is. So I will move on. before we get up out of here. And let's talk about one more thing before we go. So let's do it. Coming up. Yes, sir. It's that time again. NFL is back, and it returned last night. Last night, Thursday Night Football was live in the 2022-2023 debut of the NFL regular season. I want to say St. Louis, but the Los Angeles Rams took on the Super Bowl winning Los Angeles Rams. Let me get that out there. Took on the Buffalo Bills, and Buffalo is a team that a lot of folks are looking at as one of the favorites to come out of the AFC. Of course, a lot of people still looking at the Rams. Whenever you have a Super Bowl champ, people look at the possibility of them repeating. I don't think that's going to happen. But how y'all feeling, man? Coming into this NFL season, I know all of y'all have a team. Everybody has a team. Shout out to GKP, who put out a little bit earlier. He said, how about them Cowboys? Sunday night, baby. He says, live for the last 5 returns. Okay. Now, we're going to hold you to that, GKP. We're going to be watching. Now, don't not show up if the Cowboys are getting their tail beat and then say the show is canceled. We want to see you regardless of what happens. So we're gonna see about that live for the last 5 and making its 2022-23 debut for the NFL season, man. But all I know is I'm looking forward to this season. Now, let's just speak from my perspective here for a minute. I'm a Titans fan, as y'all I'm sure know by now. I am optimistic for this season, but at the same time, I don't know what to expect. Because last year, the Titans finished with the best record in the AFC, despite injuries all over the field, despite Derrick Henry being out half the season, despite losing offensive linemen, despite losing defensive players, despite losing every important position you could think of throughout the season, with a near record of NFL injuries and transactions to make up for those injuries. The Titans overcame the odds and finished with finished first in AFC, had a first round bye, were able to play the Cincinnati Bengals in the second round. And the Titans lost in Titan Stadium with Derrick Henry returning. We lose A.J. Brown in a trade because of contract negotiations. You know what I'm saying? We draft Traylon Burks. We have an injury to Harold Landry, arguably our best defensive player, out for the season. We have some good young players coming in. We're healthy. We signed Robert Woods from the Super Bowl winning Los Angeles Rams to be an asset at wide receiver. We recently signed Josh Gordon, who in 2013, I know that's a long time ago, 2013, he was the best wide receiver in the NFL. Been through his problems with marijuana for years, but I believe he's clean now because he said he is. I hope. But anyway, regardless of all of that, King Henry's back, Derrick Henry, full strength. Ryan Tannehill, will he still be in his head after that terrible performance in the playoff game and those terrible interceptions, including the one that ended the game that made no sense? Will the offense be better? Will we not be as predictable as we have been over the past several years, even though we've been winning? But I'm sick of run the ball on first down, run the ball on second down. Now it's 3rd and 8. You have to throw the ball, and everybody knows it. Tannehill gets blitzed. He gets hit. The ball's incomplete, and we punt the ball. That is almost every possession for the Titans over the past several years. Now, I don't know. It seems to have worked for us, but incredibly predictable. Hopefully that changes. I don't know what to expect. I think we'll be good, but we'll see. But how do y'all feel? How do y'all feel about your team? That's how I feel about mine. Do you have any Super Bowl predictions on what you think's coming up? I don't know about that either because there's been a lot of change in the league among some of the top teams. You know, you got what's going on, you know, with the Rams. I don't think they're going to repeat. You got the Cowboys. Everybody's going to be talking about them. I think Dak is hurt. Let me know if I'm wrong, GKP. I don't know if it's anything serious. I heard something about him potentially being hurt or something. Let me know. I don't know if that'll affect your live for the last 5. GKP says, I'm not Talkback Live. I'll show up, buddy. Okay. How about him? Okay, we'll see. Bob says, does live for the last 5 really have to return? Oh, no. Yes, it's kind of how I feel, man. I don't know. Do you really need to bring it back, GKP? But, you know. And also, will the big giant mug return? The Cowboys mug? I don't know what's in it, you know, but the big old cup with the you know what I'm saying, the handle with the Dallas Star on it. Are you bringing that back? And let us know what you're drinking in that thing, too, because I don't think it's water. You know, I don't know. I hope it is. We'll see. Got Cowboys fans up in here. Verdell says Dak is good. Okay, all right. GKP said Dak's playing. Okay, all right, we'll see. Vicky's calling y'all cowgirls. So y'all know how it is. You know, when this stuff starts, you know we're in the middle of football season, man. When a cowgirls reference is made, you already know. This is the best time of the year. No doubt about it, man. But regardless of who your team is, definitely good luck to y'all. My Titans, we play the New York Giants to start the season. So hopefully all things go well with that. Feeling good. We'll see what happens this season. That's all I can really say right now. But you better know, whatever happens, we're going to be here to talk about it and dive into it. So let's look at some of the games this week before I get up out of here. And again, y'all let me know, what NFL game are y'all most looking forward to this weekend? Now, the Bills sent a message last night, 31-10. They beat the Super Bowl champs in their house. First week of the season, 31-10 in Los Angeles. So that's a message sent by the Buffalo Bills. Are they legitimate? Now, one thing to watch for me, sleeper. Not saying they're going to make the playoffs or anything crazy, but watch out for the Atlanta Falcons. I know that's out of left field, right? Atlanta. Marcus Mariota, starting quarterback for the Falcons, former Titans quarterback. I believed in Mariota wholeheartedly. I think he was a victim of the Titans' ineptness at the time, poor management, poor coaching, constant changes in the quarterbacks and offensive coordinators. He got hurt, lost his confidence. I think Mariota is a very good quarterback, very starting worthy. And I know he's starting because, he's a veteran in that situation, but he looked very good in the preseason. And I know people aren't thinking about this, but watch out. Watch out, Marcus Mariota, Atlanta. That's just a tip from me. I think he's going to ball. Not saying he's going to be Aaron Rodgers, but I think Mariota is going to have a really good season with the Atlanta Falcons. So be on the lookout for that. That's a surprise thought from me. Another game to watch. Cleveland at Carolina. Big time. You know why? Baker Mayfield, formerly the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. He was the quarterback that led Cleveland to their first playoff victory in a long time. I can't even name it. How many years? A couple of years ago when they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs. He's been the quarterback, the most success that they've had recently. But there's a lot of tension with him and the Cleveland Browns organization, led to him getting traded to the Carolina Panthers. And guess who they play to start this season? In Carolina, Baker Mayfield is now the starting quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, playing against his old team in the Cleveland Browns. They're in Carolina. Definitely a game to watch because of all the drama surrounding it. Now, in case y'all didn't hear this, I know most of y'all did. Baker Mayfield told a reporter that he can't wait to whoop up on him. It was something of that nature. He, used curse words or whatever. Kick their behind. And that reporter put it out what he said, and now he's kind of backtracking and said, well, I didn't really say it, that particular thing. And, he said what he said. He didn't want that being put out in the public, which is that reporter's fault. It is. It was supposed to be a private conversation. She even admitted it, but she put it out publicly. He said he never said it. I could tell he's lying. So I'm like this. If you're gonna say it, stand on it. I know it's supposed to be private, but don't be sitting there backtracking. That's why I think Cleveland is going to beat Carolina. Don't be out here scared when they come to you with it, because now you're just giving Cleveland motivation to whoop you more than they already did. So we'll see that. Also, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Cincinnati went to the Super Bowl last year. They're now the top team in that division. Pittsburgh kind of trying to rebuild a little bit. New quarterback Mitchell Trubisky. What's going to happen there? Cincinnati, young stud Joe Burrow at quarterback. Young team, young stars at the receiving positions. Coming off a Super Bowl run where they lost to the Rams. They beat the Titans in the first round. They surprised a lot of people. Cincinnati, I think they're the favorites in that game. And I'm picking Cincinnati to win, but I think it's going to be competitive because the Steelers have a big-time defense, so not going to be easy. What other games are interesting to me? I think Miami and New England. Miami, Tua Tagovailoa, former Alabama quarterback. This is the year where he needs to step up and show out, show that he was worth that draft pick. Because Miami, they got him plenty of weapons. They went and got Cedric Wilson Jr. Cowboys fans will remember him. Y'all lost him. He was one of y'all key receivers. He is now a Miami Dolphin. Of course, Miami went and got Tyreek Hill to play the receiving position as well. So Tua has weapons now. What's going to happen? We'll see. The Patriots are the Patriots. We'll see what happens with them. A lot of doubts surrounding their offense because they have a former defensive coordinator calling the plays for their offense. I don't know. I think Bill Belichick thinks he can do whatever he wants to do because he's Bill Belichick. We'll see. I'll just leave it at that. Let's see what else here. You got the Chargers the Raiders at the Chargers, always a rivalry there, but now both teams are in different cities than they used to be. This used to be San Diego against Oakland. Now it's Los Angeles against Las Vegas. But still, these are two franchises that are rivals. This division is going to be very, very interesting. Chargers, Raiders, both teams very interesting. Devontae Adams, one of the biggest acquisitions of the whole summer. The number one wide receiver in the NFL, leaves Green Bay after all those years, comes to Oakland to play with Derek Carr, who was his college teammate. So that's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I don't know who's going to win that one, but I'm very much interested to see what happens there. Of course, I'm going to watch my Titans taking on the Giants in Nashville. Titans favorite to win. I think we should win that game. It's going to be on Fox. And the Sunday night game, Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Dallas to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Tom Brady, 7-time Super Bowl champion, coming to Dallas to take on the Cowboys to finish off Sunday night. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling, Cowboys fans? Y'all are there. Y'all are in the watching. I see several of y'all here. What y'all got to say? Are you going to take down Tom Brady? Do you feel as confident as you always do when you're taking on a guy who many feel is the greatest of all time? I don't think so. I think Tom Brady is winning that game. And I never root for Tom Brady. But even more so, I never root for the Cowboys. So I'm rooting for Tom Brady in that game. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting, though, to say the least, because Brady's got some weird stuff going on. He takes his weird leave of absence. Nobody knows why. He comes back, looks like his face is, either had some type of plastic surgery or he's been losing weight. Don't know what the deal is. He says he's got a lot of S going on in his life. Hopefully he's okay. But when it comes to football, Tom is usually focused. So we'll see what happens there. And then the Monday night game, Seahawks, Broncos. I tell you, the NFL knows how to do these storylines. Russell Wilson, longtime Seattle quarterback, Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, leaves Seattle for Denver. And for the first game of the new season, as the Denver quarterback, he's taking on his old team, the Seattle Seahawks, in Seattle, coming back to where it was his home for years. So that's going to be the Sunday night matchup. Very much looking forward to that. But I think Denver beats Seattle. So we'll see, man. But there's a lot of interesting matchups coming up this weekend. So we shall see when it's up happening. But that's going to do it for me, man, on this edition of Talk Sports Live. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, for watching, for listening, doing whatever y'all were doing on this Friday evening and taking time out to check me out. Also, quick reminder, tomorrow, 11 a.m., Bluff City Wrestling TV taping for the CW30 Network. Me and Bob at the announce booth. We will be the voices of the show along with Memphis Mike at the announce table. But the TV taping is tomorrow, 11 a.m., 114 Henry Avenue is the location. You can come in. I believe doors open at 10 a.m. Limited seating available, so be sure and get in. And it's free. Free to the public. Free professional wrestling. Great stuff. So y'all be sure and check that out if you get the opportunity to this. Not this Saturday, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow morning. So we're going to be down there. So that's going to do it for me. I got to get out of here, get ready for tomorrow. Y'all be sure and have a safe evening and be blessed. And we'll talk to y'all next time.
go hard, I go home, go home, go hard, I go home, go home, go hard, I go home, go home. Let's go, let's go, let's get it, let's get it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you with it? Yeah, we with it. Let's go, let's go, let's get it.
For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save, 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste.
I watch y'all coming here for years, cause you shot somebody. Now your life is shot. You gonna pick that phone up one day, and that girl gonna be done dumped you and raise your child with another man. Or maybe your mama or your grandmama dies. Cause ain't nothing you can do about it. You got 15 to 20 years, state or fed time. Real talk. Don't lose your head, use your head, man. Gun crime, max time.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Pedestrian safety is a two-way street. Both drivers and walkers need to do their part to keep roads safe. When you're walking, remember, the drivers may not always see you, so remember to use these tips to continue to walk safely. Wear bright clothes. Always use crosswalks and obey signs. Lights and reflectors should be used. And finally, keep alert and do not walk distracted. This message brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Patrol.
Fantastic. Our walkthroughs, our practices, our guys were dialed in. They 100% believed in the game plan, and and I think part of that was, just being able to go out there and put it all together. And I don't know what it is. I wish I had an exact answer. Hey, and put it all together. And I don't know what it is. I wish I had an exact answer. Hey, why do we start slowing the road? And put it all together. And I don't know what it is. I wish I had an exact answer. Hey, why do we have an exact answer? Hey, why do we start slowing the road? Why is it like this? And or hey, why do we start slowing? Go out there and put it all together. And I don't know what it is.